Welcome to the RiverKnits Studio Sessions episode 12.
Number 12?
Yeah.
I had a little look on YouTube to find out what episode number it was. And can you believe episode 11 was 11 months ago? No, 8 months ago.
8 months ago.
8 months ago. So I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah.
I guess life has been happening and we haven't found time to sit down and have a chat. But here we are. And we've got lots to talk about.
So that means last time we did a video, it was in the old studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time we did a studio session, it was in the old studio, but we have since done a studio and shop tour. About 3 months ago we did that, so that was the last video. But yeah, we're back with one of our regular chats to tell you what we're up to.
So what have we been up to then? We've been to Wales.
We have. It's almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were in Bilth, Wales for Wonderwool, and it was the first Wonderwool since 2019.
2019.
Yeah, so we've missed Wonderwool for 2 years, and it was so lovely to be back.
Yeah.
Really lovely, and I definitely got the sense that the visitors felt the same way. Yeah.
And there were visitors from abroad as well, flown in, and
yeah, it definitely
was amazing.
Had more of an international feel to the show, which was really nice. I think people were just really happy to be out and about and squishing yarn again.
Yeah, we still were wearing masks when we and I think a lot of visitors did as well, which was quite good. So, but it was lovely, and it wasn't freezing. It was actually nice, warm for Wales, and the sun came out.
It was sunny all weekend, pretty much.
Yeah, amazing.
I remember at one point stepping outside and it was warmer outside than in the hall.
Yeah.
But it was still like a really good temperature inside the hall, which was nice because the concrete floor is quite hard.
Yeah.
And when it's cold as well, so you get achy feet from standing on the concrete, but when it's cold as well, you just get cold.
The cold is in the concrete.
Yeah, and it just comes up through your feet. It's, ooh.
No, it was fine.
But no, it was lovely. Yeah. Really, really lovely. Yeah. So what would you say was your highlight of Wonderwool?
Just being there and seeing everybody, and just it was a little bit back to normal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think my silly highlight was parking our van next to the other one that looked the same as ours.
Oh yeah. And the lady came to me. I met her later on, and she said, "I washed my yellow van before," and then
we parked our filthy van next to it. We've got a very old yellow Volkswagen Transporter van.
G4.
Yeah, and when we got to the car park on the first day, I spotted another one and said to Marcus, "Park there, park there." That was just a silly thing. That was fun. I think my highlight was probably my yarn acquisitions.
Yes.
So, I have to tell you a little story about when we went to Rhinebeck in 2018, I want to say. Yeah. 2018, we went to Rhinebeck, and we also went to the spin-off event, Indie Untangled. If you know anything about Indie Untangled, you'll know that it's really super busy, and you only get an hour time slot to get in, get around all the vendors and make your purchases and get out again. And somebody that I met there was Anne Choi from Middlebrook Fiberworks. Let me just check I've got that right. I have got that right. Anne Choi. Anne raises Shetland sheep, and she has their fleece blended with silk and nettle fibre. I absolutely fell in love with this yarn when I saw it on her stand. But
in 2018.
In 2018. But I just didn't have enough time to make a decision and make a purchase. And it's been my one regret that I didn't buy that yarn when we were in America. But and came to Wonderwool.
Yeah, she did.
She stayed with Katie Green and was actually on the stand next to us for a lot of the show. So I managed to get my hands on some of her yarn. So this isn't even somebody who was vending at Wonderwool, but somebody who was visiting. So I've got 4 skeins of vintage number 8. It's Shetland, fine wool, silk and Rami. I'm not sure how to say that.
Oh.
And it's a small batch custom milled yarn from hand selected fleeces. And let me tell you, it is gorgeous. Look at the bounce.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's also, it might be hard to pick it up on camera, but it's got this lovely luster to it because of the silk content. And it's just got a very lightweight feel. So maybe a bit more of a summer or spring, autumn yarn than for a really warm winter thing. But yeah, totally gorgeous. So I was really pleased. I finally got my hands on this yarn, which I have regretted not purchasing for nearly 4 years.
So you can knit my jumper then?
No, it will be for me. And the other purchase that I made, well, actually, part of the highlight of this was that I met Sinead from Gull Rock Fibres. I've actually met Sinead over Zoom before, so it took me a moment when I saw her in person to realise that this was the first time no, not who it was. I knew exactly who it was, but realising it was the first time I was actually meeting her in person, which is just a strange thing of the world and that we've been living in for a while now. But Sinead, she is a natural dyer, and she dyes on 2 lovely woolly British wool bases like we do. So definitely got the same likes when it comes to our fibres. And these colours, actually, I mean, these colours are gorgeous. However, there was one that was even nicer, and do you know what happened?
I know what happened.
I was dithering. I obviously dither a lot over my yarn purchases. But so I knew this yarn was coming, but I didn't know what weight it was.
Yeah.
And I saw this absolutely glorious green skein on Sinead's stand. It was similar to this, but a bit more sort of foresty green, and it had these amazing rusty flecks in it. It was just so up my street. I've never seen a yarn from somebody else that was so up my street. And do you know what happened? Katie Green bought it. So Katie came to me later in the day and went,
She always buys green.
well, if anybody at the show was going to have that skein, then Katie is the one who was going to have it.
Well, that looks nice as well.
No, I'm really thrilled.
Pleased,
and I will gradually forget about losing out on that skein.
Right. Always happens.
I'm sure Katie
That's what I say, come early, and don't dither.
Yeah, but I didn't have a lot of money growing up, and I've always been really careful about purchases like that. So I think those kind of habits don't leave you, do they?
That's right,
so I really wanted to make the right
Spun in
purchase.
Cornwall.
So that one is a Shetland, so that's local to Sinead.
So Shetland from America, Shetland from Cornwall.
Yeah, and this is a BFL Massam
Yorkshire.
spun in Yorkshire. So yeah, so
nice.
Hopefully they're all going to play very happily together in the jumper. I think they will, won't they?
Yeah, they will,
Yeah.
Right.
So those are my Wonderwool acquisitions that I'm very pleased with. So what else have we been up to since Wonderwool?
You have been on a jolly trip, and I had to go in the shop and sell yarn. Was that what we were talking about? Yeah?
Yeah, I went on a jolly, as Marcus calls it. We had our first ever canal crafting retreat last Friday. And it was lovely.
It was,
Yeah, so we had 10 knitters and crocheters on a day boat called Jessup. And Bridget, who owns and runs the day boat, was our skipper for the day and took us for a chug down the Grand Union.
While they were crafting.
While everybody was chilling out with tea, coffee, crafting, and we had afternoon tea with lovely sandwiches and quiche and cake and scones. Had the
lots of teas and coffees.
Lots of teas and coffees.
Lots.
We had the requisite debate about whether you put the jam or cream on first.
Of course.
What are you? Are you team cream first or jam first?
I put salami first sausage, and then I put cream on.
That's disgusting. Anyway, so that was really lovely, and we had the afternoon teas were prepared by Hayley from the Wheat Sheaf in Weedon Village, and they were really quite superb.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So we've put 2 more dates in the calendar. So check that out if you fancy a day
You
on
find
the water.
that on our events page.
Yeah.
And some other things as well.
Yeah, and we'll just say, have a look at our events because we've got more dye workshops, we've got more lino cut workshops, and various things. So do have a look at our events.
Yeah.
And book yourself a spot on one of the next boat trips.
It is worth it. It was really nice. Next time I think I will make the tea and coffees an hour with the group. Right?
You're going on.
I go have afternoon tea and you can be in the shop.
Well, sounds fair.
Yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah.
Here we are.
All right.
Yeah.
So, shall we move on to our latest projects?
Yeah. So I knitted a lace shawl, and I bought it to Wonderwool, didn't I? So just.
So if you were at Wonderwool, you'll have seen this on our stand.
Yeah. So this is what I did. There's a theme here, Shetland, our local Shetland wool. Really nice. It's very soft, super soft, and doesn't weigh anything. It weighs 80 grams, but it's really warm and snuggly.
And that is your first ever lace project, isn't it?
Yeah, first.
So, round of applause
Ta-da!
for that, because you did really, really well. Yeah, and the pattern is Calon Cariad by Kath Andrews Designs. And so definitely look up Kath's designs. She's got some really, really lovely designs. And you're just showing off the yarn there.
Yeah.
So this is our Northamptonshire Shetland wool.
Yeah.
So we've had fleeces from local flocks and had it spun into yarn. But we've only got a very small amount of that
very
on
small.
there.
We only have lace. The 4 players already sold out.
So
we even
just-
didn't bring it to Wonderwool, didn't we? No, we didn't.
No,
it
was it
was
already gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we only have lace weight left now, but well, you can see what you can do with it.
It's really nice.
It's really gorgeous. Yeah. I finished a project in our
yeah.
other Northamptonshire yarn. So I used this, which is the Leicester long wool. Just showing up on camera there.
100% Leicester long wool from 5 miles away.
Yeah.
Snorescombe.
That's the colourway, Snorescombe, that one. I named the colours after different hamlets around here.
Yeah.
And I used it to make this, which is the Yume top or jumper by Isabell Kraemer. You can do it in long sleeves, but I opted for a short sleeve version so that I can have a lighter weight top tee. And really thrilled with it. You can see the kind of drape you get with that yarn. And if I bring it closer, you might be able to see the fuzzy halo on there as well. I don't know if it will show, but yeah, I have to try hard not to keep stroking myself when I wear this. It's very nice.
I stroked the Shetland.
Oh, and the other thing I finished recently was this. It's the Shawlography by Stephen West. So I've done it in 5 RiverKnits colours. I did it in a blend of our Nen 4-ply, which is Blueface Leicester, and Aysgarth, which is Wensleydale. So it's got a nice it's got a nice variation in texture as you go through the shawl. So hopefully you can see that there. Really, really pleased with how the colours all worked out. And the reason I ended up making this was because when we were at Unravel, my sister Naomi was there as well, helping us out on the stand, and we saw a lot of people wearing this shawl.
Yeah.
And the one thing I noticed...
And they all look different, didn't they?
They all looked different, and they all looked good.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to matter that much what colours people chose. I then realised when I downloaded the pattern that Stephen gives you quite a lot of guidance as to what sorts of colours you should choose, which means that when you work through the pattern, they all balance and play with each other very nicely.
Nice, very squishy and very big as well.
It is quite large,
but it's nice.
It hasn't got a huge wingspan, so you can't wrap. I mean, I can wrap it around myself like normal, and that's it. But yeah, it's lovely, and I'm actually really, really pleased with how it feels with the Aysgarth with the Wensleydale. It's just got this lovely soft fuzziness to it, which is very, very warm and snuggly. So yeah. So that's lovely, my other finished object. And my sister Naomi did one as well. So we had a little private knit along, which was quite a lot of fun. A little bit competitive.
Yeah, very, very
Even though I said I wasn't racing her, obviously I was. Yeah. And hers is all in sort of cool colours.
Yeah.
There is a photo on our Instagram if you want to see how Naomi's worked up as well. So yeah, new projects?
Yeah, so after lace knitting, the Shetland, I go to iron weight. So I make myself a jumper. I bought that last year at Yarndale, yeah. So I'm just swatching. I think I started with like 5 mil needles. It was a bit too big, so I'm down to 4. But it's a
Donegal tweed, isn't
Donegal tweed, yeah, and the pattern is from
Brooklyn
tweed.
If you can get gauge.
Yeah, if you can get gauge.
You're still working on it, aren't you?
1 kilo of yarn, that's enough. Yeah,
should be enough.
That's what I will be doing soon.
Yeah, great.
Gauge, yeah, lovely.
Cool. What's coming up?
Our open day. Yes.
Yeah, so our last open day was in 2020.
Yeah.
And just before we started all realising that COVID was a thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so obviously we haven't done it for the last
2 years?
Well, we didn't do it in 2021.
No.
But we are.
Yeah.
We are doing it?
Yeah, 21st of May.
Yeah.
There's lots of information on our events page. I think even we put it on the front page so you can book tickets.
Yeah, if you go to our website, it's literally on the front page of our website, but you can also find it through the events tab on the website as well. So yeah, it's on the 21st of May. It's from 10 till 4. We have an all-day marketplace. We have sheep.
Yeah.
The local
flocks.
For the first time.
Yeah.
We have sheep. We have the Shetland sheep. And they've just finished lambing, haven't they?
Yeah.
We saw Lynn last night. She came to
Stitch
Stitch
Folk,
Folk, and she said they've finished lambing now, which means that we will have month-old lambs in the studio.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And we will also have the Leicester Longwool sheep here as well. They lambed a little bit earlier.
Yeah, they did a bit earlier, yeah.
But yeah, Chris and Barry will be bringing the Leicester Longwool. So you'll be able to come here and see the whole process. You'll be able to see the sheep that grew the fibre, which we had spun into yarn, and then you'll be able to see the yarn.
And the finished garment.
And some finished garments. So it's really lovely to be able to show that whole process and to promote the fantastic fibre that we have on our doorstep. So that's super exciting. We also have the local guild here, the Northants Spinners, Weavers and Dyers Guild, and they will be demonstrating spinning and weaving. So you'll be able to see those processes happening, and they did say that they'll be letting people have a go.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
So that's definitely
weaving.
stop by them if you fancy having a go at either of those skills, or just asking about it, or if you're interested in joining the local guild.
Yeah.
We have also got a talk. That's from Johnny at Garthenor. He's doing a talk called Through the Mill, the story of wool from field to finished yarn.
Very fitting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his expertise,
exactly,
isn't it? So Garthenor have actually just moved into new premises where they're setting up their own mill.
Yeah.
But they've worked with mills, for years and years. So if you're interested in the processes that are involved in literally taking fleece and turning it into yarn, then make sure you come and listen to Johnny's talk.
Yeah.
And then we've got the all-day marketplace, which I will just quickly zip through the exhibitors. Sorry, I'm just looking at my tablet off the side of the screen here. So we've got Anne-Katie Bake. Hope I've pronounced that right.
I hope so, otherwise you get told off.
So that's Mana, of all things catty. So Mana is coming, and she is actually launching a new jumper pattern called Polka Cats at the open day, which she's used RiverKnits yarn for, so that's really lovely. We've got Dragon Hill Studio, that's self-striping yarns from Sharon and Andrew, really fun colours. We've got Fruitful Fusion, who's Ishrat, she's an indie dyer based in Nottingham. Really, really love her colours. Very sort of romantic palette, I think I would describe.
Yeah.
Then we've got Garthenor, so they specialise in organic wool. Yeah. We've got Katie Greenbean here. Katie Green is a designer and a podcaster, and an illustrator. So you'll be able to buy things like tea towels or cushions with British sheep on them.
No, they're fantastic.
Yeah, really, and lots of lovely notions. But Katie is also a designer and has published some really fantastic patterns in the last couple of years, so you'll be able to get those as well. We've got Provenance Craft Co, which is lots of carefully sourced practical items for crafters, like pin cushions and books and
scissors, stitch markers,
all that sort of thing.
Sock blockers.
Yeah, but really, really high quality, lovely stuff with a big focus on sustainable sourcing. So completely up our alley. We've got Rauwerk. Yeah. Rauwerk is a German company. They have a flock of merino sheep in Bavaria.
Yeah, in Bavaria.
And so it's their own yarn. Some plant dyed, some dyed normally, and some undyed. Really lovely stuff. Obviously, we're going to be here.
Yeah, you'll be here as well.
We're going to shrink our shop down a little bit to let everybody else put up theirs. But we've also got Third Volt yarns coming. So Lola is actually coming here next week. Yeah. And we are going to dye a special yarn together.
A special colourway for the Open Day 2022.
Yes, I'm really, really looking forward to spending some time with Lola, and can't wait to see what comes out of the dye pots. Yeah. I have no idea what it's going to look like yet, so that would be
interesting.
Yeah, good fun, but we'll be sharing that with you when it's ready. Yeah. And we've got a special yarn in for it as well. So it's
it's already here, yeah?
Yeah, it's already here, but it's something that we don't sell at the moment. So like to bring you something a bit different.
Something new.
Yeah. And we've also got Larissa from Travelknitter here. Larissa is another indie dyer who we met quite a few years ago now. Just absolutely luscious colours. and quite luxurious yarns as well.
Yeah.
So definitely one for those special projects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And other than that, so that's the marketplace that's on all day. We've also got catering.
Yeah. So we have tea and coffee, sandwiches,
toasted sandwiches, important
toasted,
detail.
toasted hot sandwiches,
as we call them.
Yeah, and
cake,
lots of cake, and tray bake, and
all that sort of thing. And that's being done by Hayley from the Wheat Sheaf again. So we became aware of Hayley during the lockdown. It was when there was all the upset about kids' school meals during holiday time. And the government said that they wouldn't pay for kids' school meals, and Marcus Rashford did the big campaign. So Hayley runs the Wheat Sheaf pub in the village, which was obviously shut because of lockdown. And what Hayley did was rallied the whole village together to donate food. Then she made literally hundreds of lunches. Every day. Yeah, and then asked people to volunteer their time to distribute lunches to children in the village and surrounding areas who needed school lunches, and I just have never forgotten that. And it
was very kind and
very kind of her, and that's the kind
we
of
helped
person.
as well, didn't we? Like with delivering
we
lunches.
did do some delivering
that
lunches.
was just like a little bit.
Yeah, we just did a very little thing to help out, really. But you know, people like that, they're the kind of people I want to work with. So I'm really thrilled that Hayley is going to come and do the catering for the event. We have another option for people. Our friends at the Way Brewery.
Yeah, they're open. So there's a local brewery just opposite the RiverKnits studio, and they are open during the day. And they have like locally brewed beer.
Well, they are a microbrewery here on site.
And I think they do gin as well.
I think they sell gin from their sister
company in Toaster.
They have lots of benches and outdoor seating. It's undercover, isn't it? But you can go there, they'll be open from 12, so you can go and have a pint of very, very locally brewed beer and sit out by the canal and chillax.
Sounds
so
good to me. That's where I will be.
So, I'm really, really looking forward to inviting people here because it's in our new space, which is on the ground floor.
No steps, no steps anymore.
It's fully accessible. Everything is on the ground, so you'll be able to come in and enjoy. Come and see all our lovely vendors. So you can book tickets on our website. They're only £3. It's really just to cover our overheads and the costs associated with putting on an event. But it would be really helpful to us if you could book as soon as possible, because it helps us with the numbers for people like Hayley who are doing catering. So
it would be good to see like how many people are coming.
Lots of you have booked tickets already, so that's great. Thank you ever so much. And you will be able to pay on the door, but it will be a little bit more expensive.
Book your tickets if you'd like to come and join us. It will be a great day. And also, we forgot, we will have some music as well. Music.
I forgot to mention on the programme also, as you know, we like a tune or two. So at 3:00, near the end of the day, we will be playing some music. But it's an open session, so if you play an instrument as well, then please bring it along and join us for some tunes. Which leads us nicely...
You know what I just thought, because we have all these sheep in here and the lambs, maybe they do a lot of buying when we play.
I think they'll sing along.
The choir.
Maybe. Anyway, I'm sure it will be a lot of fun. Well, that leads us quite nicely into playing a tune for this now.
Let's play some music.
Let's play. I'll just explain what the tune is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one that I wrote a couple of months ago. I think it probably has been that long now.
Yeah.
It's called Yelvertoft, which is just named after where we were moored up when I wrote it.
As you remember.
Yeah, and it's just a funky little tune in 2-time, bit of a toe tapper.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.